Hey guys, you know what is a good idea for a great holiday gift? Getting Jason Ellis skateboard, Hawk vs. Wolf skateboard, signed by me and the greatest skateboarder to ever live of all time in the universe, Tony Hawk. And also posters where I'm in it too, but the greatest skateboarder of all time in the history of the universe.
Don't say that. I know you're in your comedy bit. You always say, but he's not as good as he was. So
he's even better. and in this poster, he's doing double the mirrored hand plants. We both have the same color T-shirt on. You won't know who's who.
It's the best mirrored hand plants photo of two people on the chin ramp in Woodward you'll ever see.
That's ever happened. Our thumbs are touching.
Ever. And we signed it, and you can own one.
For 10% off right now, you get 10% off. So you got 10% off, and you got a gift. Or you can keep it for yourself, because who wouldn't want it? He's in it. The greatest skateboarder that ever lived in the history of the universe.
That's not as good as he used to be.
He said that. You can get him at TonyHawk.com. Tony Hawk, greatest skateboarder of all time.
That's not the URL.
.com. Yeah, just do TonyHawk.com.
Yeah,
that's easier. And he said, but the thing that gets me is I evaluate my happiness.
Right.
And on a scale, he's like, this out of 365 days, I was not happy 2 days.
Right.
I was like, that's pretty good. That's a good stat.
Yeah.
What do I have to do to get that stat? And it's like, well, first of all, you need to not be Jason Ellis. And I'm like, well, then screw that. It's over. You know?
Yeah.
There's a whole beginning at the start where I'm like, well, there's this one thing that I had to not do, and I already did that.
To be this person?
Yeah, I've really effed up already.
Nah.
Because but
hold on, if they're grading by the scale, if you're looking way back, you're doing pretty good right now.
Oh,
right?
Flying.
There you go.
I'm flying.
Well, so it's all relative. It's all relative.
Yeah,
so,
and I believe at this point, a bunch of bad things happened. I persevered, made it through to the other side. So now I can be an inspiration to people that have gone through tough stuff.
Right.
I'm doing good. My kids love me. I love them. They're healthy.
Right.
Like, pretty impressive, really.
Yeah.
So
yeah. For how bad it's gone, you're doing really good.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Welcome. Here we go.
And I'm not Tony Hawk.
We're kind of in the same boats, you know? Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You've always been awesome.
Well, we don't always have it awesome, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
You always seemed like you always ran a tight ship to me.
Yeah, that's why no one really ever worried about me, because I had it together, but it wasn't always together. Around me, everything's the mess, you know?
Really?
Oh, yeah. But you got to kind of lead the charge for doing it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you had rocky times.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to... I feel like I'm being offensive right now by saying that.
No.
Like, I know...
Yeah, I don't share a lot of my personal stories.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like we saw... Jeremy Ray's here, by the way.
Yeah.
It's not like we saw Jeremy Ray, Silver Spoon.
Right.
Like,
some
Golden
people
Boy
thought that, though.
Came in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought he was Silver
that.
Spoon. I just always thought he was even-keeled.
Right.
And whenever... Because I've never been.
Yeah.
So whenever I see even-keeled people...
Right.
I'm a little envious, really. I go, oh, man, what's that like?
It definitely takes a lot to get me riled up.
Right.
Like, to make me upset, it would have to be something, like, really tough. You know? Yeah, because we've been through a lot worse where it's like nothing really bothers me. And even someone trying to be mean to me, like, I don't even deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've always been that way.
Yeah.
See, that's envious. I'm jealous, really, because I've just, many times I've done stuff and then I look back and I go, oh, like I cringe at me.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, there's so many other ways to handle that.
Yeah,
like
I think I just never had a bad temper, you know?
It's such a good thing.
Yeah.
It's so overrated.
Yeah, because I was able to see if someone is upset, I was usually able to see why they were upset.
Do you understand why I say overrated?
No, I mean, is it bad temper rated anything? Like, this guy's sick. He's got a bad temper.
I used to think that was cool. That's why you got to hear me out.
Carrie Getz?
No, my father was
your father,
like, you mess with him,
right?
You're gonna regret it. And Absolutely. I'd be like, yeah. you mess with me, you're going to regret it. And then there was a time there where it was cool to be a badass.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like Jason skates with no elbow pad. You know, he's a badass. Like I drink, he's badass.
Right.
Everything he does is badass. I'm like, yeah, because I'm a badass. I'm really terrified. I'm puffing up to try to convince you that I'm a badass, but I'm actually more scared than everybody in the room. But when I did do it, puff up and like back people down or win a fight, I felt bad. Like it's a bad look. You're a mean person.
Right.
It's not like I don't look back fondly at like tough wannabe Jason.
Because you're negatively affecting other people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
not to
remember
mention
that.
people in the room.
Yeah.
Like I made everyone else in the room scared, and it wasn't even directed at them. They were just in the room going, "Oh my god! Like that dude's crazy."
Where I'm definitely more of the peacemaker.
Yeah, but that's such a wise. Because when you get older, you realize that's
but also it makes you absorb all of those feelings. You don't you don't get to emote if you're the peacemaker. You're the one that's trying. That it's like a therapist.
Right.
You're everything.
Keeping the peace
on
pays
you
off.
And you're
though,
like,
you know,
what's that?
Keeping the peace definitely pays off.
It pays off for sure, but I'm just saying it's still stressful.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Maybe more so.
Yeah.
More so, you reckon?
A little bit, just because you're the one that's taking on all of everyone else's frustrations, and you're trying to even it out, and that.
I just feel like I try. You know, I've learned like for having kids definitely taught me a lot because I was like I don't want to rub off on them what my father rubbed off on me. I'm like I'm the one that's going to end it. You know, like I got to start acting different so that they don't go through all the embarrassing stuff that I went through.
But you got to also realize what he did that was good for you when he was hard on you, when it helped you. Because if you don't do that, then the kids don't learn that side of it too.
Yeah.
And then you raise a different
You can't go the opposite,
right?
The full opposite.
You got to balance it.
Oh, there was definitely, you know, the determination, you know, like that was something that I got from him for sure, you know, and that's very valuable. But there's a like a level, you know what I mean? Like determined, and then there's just psychotic, you know, where I'd be like I was trying to say, like I regret this 11, you know, like I turn it to 11 and it's like, it's never, 11's never necessary. But I'm like, but that's how, when I saw my dad go to 11, he had other friends that were like, he goes to 11. And I'm like, right, duly noted. 11 is awesome. You know, and then now when I got older, I was like, no, there's a time where you got to like, let it go. And it's like my accent. Like I say this a lot. Why do I sound like this? I've been here for 36 years. I don't understand.
Settled in.
Oh, mate. What do you mean, oh, mate? It's like, dude, burger.
Yeah, but it's also your personality. That's your identity. So,
but some of it needs, like, I'm sober now. I like do a lot of work on myself, and there's little things where I catch it now because I am sober, like totally on the planet Jason, and I go, oh. That's not how I should react, but it once I hear it, you know, like somebody said to me, like I'm riding horses now, and I'm a cowboy, but I'm not a cowboy. I'm an Australian moron, and I got a hat, and somebody because this is a winter, so it's not summer anymore. I don't know if you know this, people that aren't cowboy, but this is the correct hat for the season. Okay. So annoying, like shut up. And I had the straw one on yesterday, and someone was like, hey man, you've got the wrong hat on. And I was like, not going to say anything. But old me would be like, shut the up, you moron.
Right.
I'll wear whatever hat I want to wear. And it was hot yesterday, so eat it.
You need a little air coming through?
Oh, yeah. I'll pull through Instagram, pull him out, and beat him to death. Oh, that's 11, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that comment wasn't even to your face?
No. Dude, no one says it to my face.
They're a lot
stronger. Says anything to my
They're
face.
a lot stronger through Instagram.
Right?
That's for sure. That is funny.
All right, so Jeremy, how did you become psychotic on your skateboard?
That is a legit question.
It's a good segue, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things. Remember that old Disney cartoon with Mr. X, where he was a nice, normal guy in his normal life? Then he'd get behind the wheel and he'd just turn into Mr. X and he was all aggressive.
Yes, yeah.
It was kind of that thing. Like, I'm just a nice, normal dude, but when I get on my skateboard...
But was it immediate when you got on a skateboard?
No, you just had to learn. And then once you learn how to do some stuff out of your group of friends, someone had to keep trying to push it to the next level, try the harder thing, and be willing to like risk it and see what happens. Mm-hmm. So I ended up being that guy for our crew. And once you open the door, other people come with you and you can all do it. But someone has to try it first.
But were you getting beat up doing that?
No, I was surprisingly making it through most of it. And we'd have people that
I mean, you
would
always
come by
look
and
really
try it.
solid, so I would be surprised to hear you were landing sketchy or slamming a lot.
I think I was just like trying to figure it out in my head first, making sure it was something that I could do, and then give it a shot. And the first try was always the scariest. Once you get through that, if you survived it, you figure out what went wrong, and then you kind of know what to do for the next one. And that's what it was, just progression, trying to just keep going for that next thing, and figuring it out.
Do you know, or did you have, like from the get-go, some athletic ability that most kids didn't have? Because it seemed like when you did, because I'm a vert dude, jumping downstairs has always been pretty ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But just watching you do stuff when you first popped onto the scene, I was like, even if it goes wrong and you bail, when you land, it looked better than, I was like, I don't even feel like you're hurt.
Well, I was able to be super aware in the middle of doing something. And there was a time in skateboarding where even if you're doing something really technical, it felt like everything was in slow motion while you're doing it.
Yeah.
You get like a heightened awareness where just like, it does feel like slow motion. As soon as something goes wrong, you're aware of it, and then you can get out of it. And just figuring out where to step, how to do it, if you got to roll, whatever, to get out of it without getting hurt. Now, other people just take the whole slam.
I know everybody's talked to you about the ollie the gap thing, that stupid thing where if you fall, you're dead. But you ran and jumped it.
Yeah.
That seems way gnarlier.
I know everyone says that, but I just feel like when you did run and jump it, it seemed like, when I first saw that, I was like, can you dunk? You know, like it seemed like you had like a good leap.
Right.
And you're not like the tallest guy in the world.
Well, you know what,
we
just figured this out recently, that it was probably from having a trampoline as a kid and just doing nonstop jumping and jumping and jumping.
Yeah.
So I built like leg muscles that weren't like the other kids.
Wow.
And then found out that Aaron Joswoki, he also had a trampoline as a kid, and he just had a different strength in his legs.
They had trampolines at Del Mar Skate Ranch, so we were on them. So he was jumping them constantly.
I had trampolines when I was a kid.
So you had a trampoline as a kid too?
Yeah.
Okay.
How come?
And you too?
Yeah.
Well, then
but I can't claim to jump long distances like that. No way.
That's how I got kickflip 540s going. Because I used to use,
you did them on a trampoline?
I used to use a deck, no wheels, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
And me and my brothers and friends would bounce on it, and I could do an indie, because I could do somersaults. Some of us, we could do double flip a couple times. My little brother was maybe the best at it. Yeah. But we had a shed next to it, and we would jump off the shed onto the board, and then try to bounce extra high, try to bounce each other really high. People got worked on that thing. But there was a time there where, and I learned it from Sluggo, because Sluggo was a gymnast, and I saw him in Le Grand Bernard in France, where he would land on his back and do a somersault and land back on his back again, and he would spring off his back so he could keep doing these egg rolls. And I was like, how do you do that? And then he told me how to do it. So then I would do a kickflip 540 and go upside down, and like I'm nowhere near going around. I'm going to land on my head, and I would tuck my chin and land on my back, and then bounce around and put it back on my feet and land on my feet.
Maybe that was the way to do it on vert.
Well, that's why I landed on my head when I was doing them. That's like I couldn't transfer or get it around.
I remember Sluggo trying to do the backflip, and he had a couple where he was completely upside down.
He did it.
Yeah, I know, but remember when he was trying it and learning it?
Yeah.
There were a couple like sketchy ones where he was able to flip back around to his feet and make it.
Yeah, because he had
gymnast skills. Yeah.
Well, and he has that famous loop out at that one vert.
The high air I was there for that.
Yeah. Do you ever see that one?
There
was a big high air contest at this airwalk vert event.
Yeah, and that when he was able to, he was going in head first, and he flipped his body around and landed on his feet, and was just like, I made it. Like his feet,
I do remember that. Amazing. His feet were going over his head, and he made the call. He tucked his knees
that's why I thought he would be the first one to do 900, because he knew how to spin 2.5 times and land on his feet.
Yeah, he knew where he was.
We were all just flinging ourselves.
Was he ever trying it?
Yeah, he got close.
Okay.
But I was always, whatever, all the conspiracies that spying on people watching them or whatever. I only ever saw him. I was like, he's going to do it because he knows how to do that.
Yeah, no one ever got to really see that unless you were there, because they didn't show footage of someone almost making it, So I never saw his attempts of it.
It's funny.
He actually had a sequence in a magazine.
Right.
Transworld did an article on that trick saying, interviewing all of us that were trying it
before anyone had made it.
Before anyone made it, and we were like,
make it first.
we can't do it. We don't know how to do it. It's impossible. There was literally a quote like, "It's an impossible trick."
Right.
And then it had a sequence of Sluggo like throwing one on the wall but not making it.
Okay.
Oh, I have a video. I'll tell you later. Just remind me later.
I hit my head so much. How am I going to remind you?
I have a video that
Brianna, remind him later. I don't
really
know what's
enjoy.
going on.
And now a word from our sponsors. My toiletry bag, right, with all the stuff in it, is pretty jam-packed full. But Mando simplifies that. 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar.
It seems impossible, Tony.
It's a 5-ounce bar that does the work of shampoo, face wash, body wash, and deodorant. And you know what? There's more.
How? That's impossible.
You can also use it for rich shaving leather.
I only shave rich, so that works out.
Perfect. Mando's 4-in-1 acidified cleansing bar is formulated with a gentle alpha hydroxy acid that stops odor at the source. Regular soap can't do that because the pH is too high.
I don't even know what pH is.
Well, you don't need to know because it works. A doctor developed it. This simplifies your hygiene routine, and it's the only thing you really need to pack besides your skateboard.
Right. Well, I also got to pack my my Gusto.
Bring your Gusto.
Yeah.
See, you can get it in 3 cologne quality scents. Mount Fuji is fresh and woodsy. Bourbon Leather is sweet and sophisticated. And Pro Sport is clean and citrusy. I'm going to guess you're more Mount Fuji, fresh and woodsy.
Yeah, man. That's
you're like
because
an
that's
outdoor
what
man,
I'm about.
ride horses.
Did you notice
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because my horse smells like that too.
I'm going to go with clean and citrusy.
You would.
Even though I like the idea of bourbon leather because I like bourbon and leather.
I was going to say, that seems more like you, but I guess I don't know who Tony Hawk really is.
You'll never know. Special offer. New customers get $5 off Mando's best-selling starter pack with code HAWK at shopmando.com.
HAWK. I've been using it and I love it. How do they do 5 things in one thing? It's like me. I fight, skate, I'm attractive, and an excellent reader.
Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping.
Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market, mate. New customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code that equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code HAWK, HAWK, at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com, mate.
Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all.
You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 200 times your cash.
Run your game all season long on Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app.
I selected more on a guy that is a hype train, according to me, and I won.
You did?
Idiots. Yeah. Of course I did.
Sick.
A rich bitch.
Make your holidays bigger and brighter with Prize Picks, the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports.
Join now because this holiday season, Prize Picks is giving away 2 free picks in December. And they're giving away $30+ million in rewards during Pixmas.
Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players are going off, mate?
Oh, no way.
Which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long on Prize Picks.
Download the app today and use the code HAWKWOLF to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
That's HAWKWOLF to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup.
One more time, that's HAWKWOLF to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Back to the show.
Yeah, I learned front foot impossibles on trampoline
Okay.
on a blank deck.
Dude, I learned I could do kickflips on a trampoline, catch it
Right,
with
and
my
they come
feet,
up to your
and I was
right.
like, dude. And then I
Yeah.
go the street, nah.
Yeah. There's a
Thud.
certain way to lean and flip it. But
Yeah.
I know for me, the trampoline and the skateboard deck didn't really overlap. 'Cause by the time we
okay.
started skating, the trampoline wasn't around anymore.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen footage of Jacob Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Who used to film all the Plan B guys up
Yeah.
in San Francisco. He was amazing on trampoline skating.
He could do back-to-back tricks, right?
He would do lines,
Yeah,
and
that's
he had
right. I
all
remember
kinds of
that.
stuff that,
Flip,
that
then-
hadn't
then
even been
flip
done
again
on a real
straight away,
skateboard
yeah.
yet. He had
Yeah.
all kinds of high-tech tricks, 540 flip, late flip
Yeah.
stuff,
So
and
sick.
he just spent a lot of time on this trampoline. He could do all kinds of stuff.
Dude,
I never
this-
saw that footage till years later.
This is the gnarliest one that ever happened to me. This garage had like those the the window with the slates of glass.
I know
so
the
you
one.
could like open it and close it.
Yeah. I
already
And
know
my
where this is
brother
going.
was little, like 10, something like that. And I'm getting on I'm about to go get on a train and go to the ramp. And he's like, Jay, just watch this one thing. And I'm like, okay, dude, hurry up. And he lands on an angle and slingshots himself face first into the window.
Busted it.
Straight to the top and then falls down all of them, breaks them all.
Oh, God.
And hits the ground, pulls out, falls on the ground. And he's like, oh, no. And turns around and he's got a blade of glass coming out of his stomach. Like this far out of his stomach.
Jeez.
And I'm like, oh. And he's like, get it out, get it out, get it out. And I'm like, oh. And I pull it out. And he's like, get it out, get it out. I'm like, it's out. And he's like, oh. And I lift his shirt up and blood starts coming out.
That's not good.
I grab a tea towel from the kitchen. And I'm like, press it to straight. See, I'm still, I don't know. I don't live there. I don't know. It's a towel. The hot stuff you would use.
I get it. Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even know what you call it in America. I'm like, put pressure on it. I pick him up and run to the, like there's not a hospital, a doctor office that my like stepmom would take us to. And I run. It's probably like a mile, maybe a mile and a half. And at one point as I'm running, he's like, I'm feeling faint. And I'm like, no. And so I'm running, I get in there, like, get out of the way, brother. And everyone's like, calm down.
Yeah.
And then
Until
I put
they see him.
Yeah, and then they do the x-ray and they go, didn't get anything.
Okay.
And I go in there and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling faint, am I?
Oh my
dickhead.
God, dude.
And then I left him there and got on a train and went skating because I was so pissed.
Some people feel faint just from seeing blood. You know, they see
no.
their own blood and they
Yeah,
like,
he
pass
might have
out.
been in shock.
So,
Like,
yeah,
give
it's that kind of thing.
him some
Yeah.
credit, you know.
Nope.
No, give him some leeway, not at all.
We're Ellis.
Do you remember? Wait,
Yeah.
tell me I have this right. We were, I think it was audio trip in Australia, and you blew your knee out at a
Yes,
demo,
I did.
and Jamie Thomas picked you up.
Jamie Thomas and my brother Jonas both picked me up.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we were in the middle.
on each
We were
arm,
in the
yeah.
middle of a demo.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, like kickflip on a bank, right?
Yeah,
Like
the
a-
kickflip was a setup trick. I wasn't even I wasn't going for the kickflip. The kickflip was just so I could do something to land backwards to do something on the hip.
Yeah.
And that was a demo. Chris Markovich was with us. And he did that launch out of that same bank
Yep,
over the
yep,
railing
yep.
and landed. The crowd goes nuts.
Oh man,
that could be the end of the demo.
I'm never gonna find this footage.
But nothing.
This
Nothing-
is sorry guys. This one's too
Yeah,
obscure.
but
Hey, can you
nothing
make a
could have been
cartoon
better
of
than
it?
that. Like that closed down the demo, right? Like we could have just walked off and
Yeah, it
and
was
left.
the gnarliest
And I was
thing, yeah.
standing at the top of the bank when he did that. So something in my head was like, just walk down and go to the van. Demo's over. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm up here. I might as well roll in. And I did. I rolled in, did something. I did a kickflip, and it felt kind of funny. They like went vert shifty flip, and then it landed a little weird. I was like, that was weird. But I ended up on the top of the bank again. And then something said again, like, don't just walk, now run. Get out of here, go to the van right now. And I was like, well, I'm still up here. I'm going to go one more time. And that's when I hurt my knee on that kickflip. So
yeah, I remember seeing, because I remember it was winding down too.
Right.
And then I saw that, and I could tell something went wrong with your knee. And then all of a sudden, they carried you. And I was like,
because there's a hospital across the street. And we only knew that because Markovich hit his head on a ledge the year before. He was doing a trick.
Oh, and he knew it was there.
And he rolled towards this ledge where there were people standing, and everyone parted the seas and let him hit his forehead right on the corner, like the metal edge of a ledge.
Was this?
Ooh, I don't know the name of that town, but I know the park.
I feel like it was.
It had a really steep bank.
No, I
and
feel
then
like it was
pyramid in
Sydney.
the middle. But I don't know the name of the town anymore.
I mean, the park's gone for sure. This was 99.
Right.
It was one of the better parks in the area, but it just had this weirdly steep bank. So everything you did kind of threw you out a little
like
more
that,
than normal.
And then it had a little deck and then a
So
railing.
when you landed, it would shoot you down really fast.
Permanent
yeah, it was
thing,
a cement bank.
I don't think it's there anymore, but it was cement. And Markovich went
up and over the rail.
Up and over it. And it was probably 8 feet at least.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was well overhead high, and then the rail on top of that. So yeah, he just cleared it. And
But yeah, I
should've
remember,
just
but I
walked
remember
away right
seeing
there.
that all happen, and then they carried you, and I'm like, where are they taking him?
Right.
And they're like, there's a hospital right there. What
Right.
the hell
And they
is
did the
going on?
x-rays there, and there was nothing in the x-rays because there was no bone damage. It was all ligament. But I heard it just
pop.
I landed with my foot on my board, but my heel was down. So my board shot down the rest of the bank with my other foot on that board, And then my foot stuck on top of the ramp and it just did the splits.
Because it was
and I was like trying to figure out how I get out of this.
Is that
and I just tried to like lean back so I could sit down, but it just ripped everything from here like 45 degrees. And I heard 3 loud pops, like pop, pop, pop.
Is that
so
MCL?
I knew it was a PCL and probably the other ones, but like the PCL is the only one that got replaced.
All of them.
Yeah, I think it did like the MCL, PCL, and the ACL then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Did you
PCL
ever
got in 2
feel
pieces.
hindered by that after it got fixed?
No, it just took me like, because I didn't get it fixed right away. When I came home, I went to see a doctor and he's like, I told him exactly what happened, told him what I heard, and my knee's basically just hanging there. And he's like, oh, just do physical therapy and see how it feels. And I was like, no. So then I called up Jamie Thomas and he had recommended this guy, Dr. G, Dr. Warren G. And it's not the rapper Warren G, but yeah. But yeah, he had me in there and he put my leg up on the table. He held my ankle and held my knee. He pulled it that way. And when it got to about 45, he's like, tell me when it hurts. And he got it that far and you just feel it stretching. But like, I didn't.
There was nothing holding
no
in
pain.
place.
It was just loose. And he put it back gently. And he's like, okay, we're taking you across the street right now to go to get an MRI. So I had to sit through the MRI thing and get it all done.
Yeah.
But once he fixed it, it was about 6 months till I could skate again. And once I started skating, it was more about just rebuilding the strength in that front knee. So doing a lot of like nose manuals, trying to nollie and switch just to like get it all back to even.
Yeah.
And once I got it back to even, that's when we filmed the audio One Step Beyond part. So all of that was after the knee surgery.
Yeah, you didn't get hindered by that at all.
So,
but yeah, I remember
but I had to jump right back into it.
We
and I only had about 2 months left. Everyone else had been filming the whole time I was hurt.
Oh, so you
I
had
had
to
2 months
scramble.
left to film. So I just filmed everything I could in those 2 months and got it done. But it was enough of a part.
That was a banger part.
And I still ended up with the last part. So that was nice. Yeah,
That was awesome. No, and I was thinking about we toured Europe after that too.
Right.
2003-ish,
Yeah.
2002 maybe.
Yep. And then it was just all back to normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that one of the ones when Riley came with us?
Riley came,
He was
yeah.
fully padded? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would come skate the demos, and he was a little dude, and he had no fear of crowds or anything. He was just like, he'd just drop in with the rest of us, skate with his
You
full
were so
pads,
great
and
with
like,
him. It's tricky because he was pretty young then.
Yeah, and you had your hands full and had to do other stuff like working while you're in the van. So I ended up sitting next to him, and I
you guys
introduced him
did
to the
art
line
together.
game. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
he had all
really
this
cool.
drawing stuff. So I was
Yeah.
like, I introduced him to that where I'd draw a funny line, and he has to make it into a picture.
Yeah.
Then he'd draw a funny line, and I have to make it into a picture.
that was really cool.
And just bounce that back and forth. You're like, we haven't done that before, but it's a good like time user. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets you through a long drive without any hassles. So
yeah, that was
a good
really
one.
cool. That's funny because there's some vivid memories I have with Riley, and that is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Where he's on a skate tour, like
Right.
he's in the van.
Right.
It's not great fun for kids, and then
Right.
you made it fun.
Well, I had a lot of those
Immediately.
tours where there would be one younger guy, and all the older guys are like, drinking, partying, doing their thing.
Yeah.
There's the one younger guy that's like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So I'd usually gravitate towards them and like, hey, all right, let's go.
It's super
Let's make
cool.
it fun.
It's a great attitude and skill set to have.
We had Sean White on our tours too before he could go out and drink and stuff like that. And there was only one restaurant open, and it was 21 and over. He couldn't get in. So I just ordered some food to go, and we just played Heads Up, Texas Hold'em back and forth while we ate our food. That kind of stuff.
Where was that?
I think that was up in Seattle somewhere when we were doing one of those demos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, when we went on that big secret skate park tour,
Yeah.
we would play blackjack
Right.
in the bus,
Yeah.
and
The house always wins.
which was Trent.
At the end of our
Trent, who was the cameraman.
whenever we would play poker at home, at the end, Jonas would be like, all right, I'm going to be the house. Anyone want to play blackjack with the rest of their chips and stuff? And he'd always rake it in just because like the house always wins.
I mean, yeah, of course. But I will tell you this story. I was $1,000 down
yeah.
with Trent.
Yeah.
And I was like, $1,000 in this hand.
Yeah, no.
I'm winning a
That
bet.
wasn't-
I'm
Right.
bad. Like,
Trent
I
got-
got issues.
Trent
right?
got several people to
wait,
do
hold on.
that exact
Right.
stupid thing.
Did you make it?
He deals me a 17.
Right.
He's got a face card showing. And I'm like, dude,
You have to stay.
you're supposed to stay.
Did you go for the hit?
And I was just like, oh man. And then he kind of sneaks a look at his,
Right.
and he's like, and I could just tell he had another 10.
Right.
I was like, just hit me. I don't care. I got a 4.
Right.
I got
You got the 4.
Yeah.
21.
21.
Nailed it.
And
That's right.
Like I would have been kicked out of a casino hitting on a 17.
Yeah.
Right.
But
That's funny.
won it back. And now a word from our sponsors.
Alpha Progression is the go-to app for anyone training to maximize muscle gain and is no BS training for muscle growth. Alpha Progression is science-based, baby. Science-based and developed by serious lifters and personal training and competitive bodybuilding backgrounds. They are by far the top-rated fitness app in Germany and have recently started expanding their users worldwide.
Alpha Progression is the most intuitive workout logger. Alpha users love how easy it is to use, even though it's packed with features, making it the ideal tool for both novices and seasoned lifters. Alpha's app goes beyond creating a personalized workout plan and empowers you to track your progress and achieve your fitness goals. With an extensive exercises database and expert recommendations, we provide the guidance you need to embark on an effective muscle building journey.
Their plans are generated from scratch and according to your needs, like what muscle you want to focus on and what equipment you have. There are over 1,000 trillion input combinations. Dang.
Quality-wise, Alpha's plans measure up to the best personal trainers in the world. Strength training is all about progression. Alpha Progression's algorithm analyzes past performances and recommends weight and reps in every set. This guarantees long-term success.
My personal experience is it's great. Look at me. I'm way stronger than Tony Hawk.
The Pro version is $12.99 USD per month or $79.99 USD per year with a 2 weeks free trial. Though we have a special deal for all of you HVW listeners. Go to alphaprogression.com/hawk, H-A-W-K, to get 20% off your first payment. That's ALPHA progression.com/hawk for 20% off.
So what are you waiting for? Go to alphaprogression.com/hawk.
You know how to spell that?
H-A-W-K. Hey, hey. Get started right now. Back to the show.
Yeah,
that was
we've
awesome.
had some good stories like that. But the $1,000 story, we were with Kenny Hughes, and he was down, I think, 800. So, and we were at a regular casino.
Right.
So he put the $1,000 out on a hand on blackjack, and he gets blackjack. But then the dealer is showing an ace,
Oh,
so you can do
no.
insurance.
Yeah.
And he's like, trying to figure out, do I do insurance? Like, at least, and he's looking to me for advice. I'm like, honestly, you put the $1,000 out, you're only down 800. If you just take the insurance, you got a guaranteed win. You're already up a little. I would just do that. So he did that. It turns out he would have got the extra, 500 on
right.
it. So, but he was stoked, and he came out on top.
I've never heard of anyone taking insurance. Or
Yeah.
I just don't live in those
Yeah,
parameters.
sometimes you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
just it's even money is what it is.
Yeah.
Man, I remember being in Vegas and waiting for a taxi because this was a long time ago, and my agent, Steve Astafin, agent to the stars, put $100 on the table for like blackjack or whatever.
Right.
And no, on the roulette.
On one number?
Yeah, and just walked off, and I was like,
Wait, put it down. Did he lose?
yeah.
Oh,
But at the time,
Right.
I just looked at him for like a week,
and he
like-
wasn't even affected by it.
I'm
Yeah.
like, how did you? That was $100.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like, how do you live with yourself? I'm like, there's people
Yeah.
out there that live a different life, Jason.
Well, we were in
I was like,
Australia.
is that what he said?
No, that's how.
Oh, that's what you said.
I was like, he's
Oh.
so far and beyond
Yeah.
my comprehension. $100.
Right.
Just who cares?
It's gone
And then
like
got in
that.
the taxi, and I was
Right.
like, he
And
did.
he's fine with it.
He did that to to kill time to wait for the taxi. Like,
Right.
I can't understand.
Right.
Oh no, I still get that anxiety like twinge with $100 hands. I'm just like, oh, here it comes. Like I can't shake that.
But while we're on the roulette, I got a great Jonas story from when we were in Australia at the casino over there.
Yeah.
And he goes up to a table where there's no one playing. This is an empty roulette table. And he goes up there with a $5 chip, puts it on one number, and just stands there. And the guy looks at him like, that's really not how you play this game.
Yeah.
But all right. So he rolls it, and sure enough, it hits the exact number. And he's the only person playing on this table.
Yeah.
Just one chip hits it. So they stack it up. He pulls it back. He looks around, puts one chip on one more number.
No way.
And the guy just like, all right. And he's just smiling and laughing at him. He does it, and he hit it again.
No, he
And,
didn't.
2 in a row from
That's
walking up, and then he pulled it back again. And then the guy was like, the dealer was saying, I know there's no way to cheat on this game, but if there was, I would have the pit boss here right now.
Yeah, that's impossible.
I've never seen anything like that.
Third time didn't work.
So he went for the third time, it missed that one, and he just pulled everything else and walked.
And then walked.
And walked.
What
it was so good.
That is no one's ever.
I've never even seen anything like that, never heard of that, and I was right by him while he was doing it. And it was amazing.
That is incredible, dude.
But he did like to play longer and lose it all back anyway. But he
feel
had
like
some good stories.
Every time, we were doing audio trips, Jonas was on most of the trips.
Right.
Yeah.
He got to go and just skate with us a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I tried to get him on as many trips as I could just because he was fun to skate with. He always got something done, and he kind of brought the party for everyone else.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I think everyone loved hanging out with Jonas more than they loved hanging out with me. You know, they loved skating with me, but they loved hanging out with Jonas.
You're even keel. You're solid.
Yeah.
Jonas was.
So he definitely made all those trips more fun for everyone there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no offense, but he was more fun at nighttime for sure.
Absolutely. And I was so focused on just doing the best skateboarding I could. I'm like, I can't wake up not feeling my best. I want to go out there and still get something the next day, you know? Whereas he could just wake up at whatever time, get on the board no matter how he felt, and still do something amazing. And it's like, I don't have that.
You, though.
He had it. I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you...
Yeah, I was close to it where I saw it.
Yeah. You know, one of the greats ever, you know?
Yeah.
That was...
A lot of his stuff went undocumented until he lived with Jody Morris. When Jody Morris was living with him in Silver Lake, they shot an interview for Transworld and just did amazing things every day just because he was there. Yeah. But Jonas wasn't the type to call up a photographer like, hey, I got this thing. Right. Let's go shoot it. You know? But if it happened while you were there, he would do it. So, and he broke boards more than anyone I'd ever met. He broke 5 boards in one day when we were skating around his house when he lived in Silver Lake.
Because he's jumping off giant stuff or just ran him wrong?
He set up a board when we were leaving his house. He did a kickflip off the curb and broke the tail. He just had like a strong stance and he'd land hard.
Yeah.
Like some people land light, they land like above the board almost.
Yeah.
He would stomp through it to the ground.
What are you?
He was snapping tails, like weight wise.
No, when you land, what would you say
I was always
you're landing?
super light footed.
Right.
Yeah. I would try to make it as light as possible and always land with my knees bent so you could soften it even more.
Yeah, because it looked like that. You made it look easy.
Well, I tried to go if you go fast and you land light, then everything just is really smooth.
Yeah.
You know, if you slow it down and you're landing straight down, then all that pressure goes right to the board. And you're more likely to break tails. Yeah, so just go fast.
Yeah, I had that theory because there was a time there where vert dudes, you ain't getting paid. Like, you got to have some stuff. And I was I'm not a thinker, you know? Like, someone would be like, I hung out with, the only people that skated in Australia were street guys. Like, they were my friends. I didn't have a vert friend. So they would film me on the vert ramp. And then if they go onto the streets, I'm going to come, like, they're supporting me.
Right.
Like, not one of them had pads on. They weren't even dropping in. And there was like 3 dudes on the ramp with me. They're going to go the streets. I'm going to go the streets. And it was more like, oh shit, Jason's going to, you know what I mean? It'd be like funny. I was like a comedian of sorts, just for being
just
there.
watching.
Yeah, because I'm like, I could heel flip that. And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, maybe. And everyone's like, well, we'll film it, dude.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, because I know why. Because you're like, they
know what's about to happen. Yeah.
But there was a thing where I was like, I found this gap, like over a little like curb, but it was pebble mix to take off.
Yeah.
And next to a bank and like over these bushes. And it was like a gap where it's not, you would do it easily, but if you, from a certain angle, it looked like I'm Street Ellis. Like I am in the streets. I'm cracking an ollie over one thing into another parking lot. It looks awesome. Yeah. And I've landed and just like shoulder block skidding on my side. And they're like, did you
not clear it in lock?
No, I got wheel bite.
Yeah.
But they're like, you got to go way faster. The faster you go.
Were you still on your vert setup with bigger wheels?
Hell yeah.
So there wasn't much clearance.
Oh yeah, we're not selling out.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah. Keep it real.
We're all 60s or die, baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make it work, but it's just,
right?
It's different.
You know it.
Yeah.
They were total 60s, baby, because they go faster.
Yeah.
But I went as fast as I could with this notion, because he was like, dude, if you go fast, it's so much easier.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it makes so much sense. Like, yeah.
Right.
So I push like a maniac, fly over it. Exact same thing, but just 10 times more traumatic. Just like, kaboom! And I'm like, oh my God, like horrific slam.
Right.
And then I'm like, okay, that really hurt. You know what I mean?
If you go faster, you'll lose more skin.
Yeah. Then I went and because I melted my hands, my palms.
Oh, yeah.
So I got
street skating for sure.
I got leather gloves. and went back.
The same day
With
or another
them
time?
or by yourself?
Another day by
Another day,
myself.
You're
And I
just
was
on a
like-
mission.
Yeah, because
Right.
I was like, I will get
Right.
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And completely destroyed myself like 6
Might want to
times.
tighten the trucks a little too, because like if
Oh,
you have the bigger
can't
wheels,
you can't tighten trucks tighter than my truck.
Yeah,
and you still got wheel bite.
I might just be I might have just been like, I might have just shoulder block. Like,
Just landing wheel like
I
heel
had
heavy.
The
It's probably
most
just landing heel
horrific
heavy.
slams
It's
out
gonna
of all
pinch.
those guys. It would always be.
Yeah.
People would say you should stop. You know.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even my call. Someone would just be like, "You should stop, dude."
I've had that shoulder slam where it was at a spot in Santa Barbara at UCSB.
Yeah.
There was a street gap, and it was the same one that Sean Sheffy ollied in one of the Life videos.
Yeah.
That Life video, the soldier story. So we went there as kids, saw it, like it's an actual thing. You can do this. And it was the first time I'd ever seen anyone clear a street, like an entire street from sidewalk to sidewalk.
Yeah.
The only thing is you have to clear it enough to where you don't lock. And
Right. Oh.
I had done it once before when we went there one time. Another trip in the morning, getting warmed up, skating around the campus. I just went for it, and I came up like that much short.
That makes it
and
worse.
my truck locked so hard, and I didn't expect it.
You were
I
trying to
slid
roll
on my
away.
shoulder only. I didn't hit my head. I didn't hit my hip. I slid on my shoulder a good 15 feet. And just like when I got up, it was through my shirt, but it went all the way down to the white meat. It was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, where it
I still had
doesn't
to skate
bleed?
the rest of the day.
Where
Yeah.
it doesn't bleed?
It didn't bleed. It was just
Yeah.
like white. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
And then it's just stuck to your clothes.
Yeah, and I think I still have a mark from it.
I like
Yeah.
it when you're a kid and that happens and you think that it's the bone.
Right.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
just
no, I
like-
Because
have
it
that
doesn't
from-
bleed, so you go,
I have that
it's to the
from,
bone!
Yeah.
And everyone's like, it is to the bone! And then
Yeah, 'cause it's
eventually
super
it
white.
bleeds and you're
Yeah,
like,
just
I
like
have it from
seeps
Gleaming
through,
the
yeah.
Cube right here.
No way.
I went like when we were doing that downhill scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the pizza truck. I was not actually driving the pizza truck. That was a stunt driver because they needed enough skaters that could go down that hill.
yeah.
So did they dress you
So
up like
I was
someone
doubling.
else?
I was doubling one of the extras.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
But Nodis, Tommy, you know,
Right.
that it was all of us, and Nodis and Tommy kind of started coming at each other, and I had to.
And you're in the middle?
So I had to thread the needle,
Right.
and shoot the gap, and then I was going too fast, and when I went to try to speed check, my wheel stuck.
Oh no.
And then I just Pete Rose down through my elbow pad to the white meat. And
Did
they-
it pull the elbow pad up or did it just go
No,
through
through
it?
it.
It went all the way through.
all the way through?
Oh my
Like it was,
God.
old Rectors. So
Yeah.
this is all elastic.
That's a
right
rough
here.
street too.
Oh, it
That's
was
gotta
rough.
be.
Yeah, I remember looking at like
Yeah.
same thing. Like, is that the bone?
Right.
Yeah.
And it
I
might
don't
be
know.
on that part because there's that little bone that sticks out right
Yeah,
there.
you might have actually got the bone.
You
right
might have
there.
got there.
Yeah.
It was funny how
That's right.
how they treated. It was the '80s, so how
Right.
they treated injuries. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you'll be all right.
Yeah. Do you remember doing the Tarzan commercial?
Oh, yeah.
And I was your street stunt double
Yeah,
for that one.
yeah.
And
Wait,
then
what?
he hurt his shin doing something on the vert ramp, and I had to go to the makeup trailer, and they made my shin look like his shin.
Nobody can make your shin look like his shin.
No,
They
he-
matched it pretty good.
It
We
was,
had a
pretty
photo
good
like
shin.
side by side, and I couldn't believe how good they were able to do
Yeah, I
with
gotta
flat
find
makeup.
that. I
We
gotta
have
find
photos of that, but
Yeah.
they wanted him to do the 900 and the loop on the same day.
we had one day to shoot.
Right. So
So and yes, I know it sounds suspect, like he's my stunt double, but it was basically the flat bar, right?
yeah, they wanted some street stuff
But
done.
but he was shooting
So-
that simultaneously.
Right.
He's shooting
Okay.
that at the same time I'm shooting all this
Right,
other
they had
stuff.
all these
'cause-
scenes, and they had him doing the
Did
900
you do
and the
a
loop
loop
on the
and a
same day.
900 same day?
Same day, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. And one of the loops didn't go so well in the beginning. You did the like 45 down.
I
and missed the pad.
I slammed into the pads. But,
yeah. You hit above the pads on one, and it was like, oh no. But then you shook it off and went right to it and got it.
Yeah, those are crazy days.
And I remember
can't
they were telling me
believe that.
about the timeline, the storyboard for the shoot. And they wanted him to do all that with a backpack on. And I was like,
Wait, at 900 with
and
a
I was
backpack?
like, does
Because-
Tony know he's doing a 900 with a backpack on?
yeah, well, I mean, we'll show the whole
it was
commercial.
for
but-
a
Did you
DVD.
do it?
No, I
No,
told
so
the
what it was
producers
is-
like, hey, it's hard enough to do 900. He's the only person that's ever done it in the world. To do it with a backpack on would really slow down your rotation. It just wouldn't be a good idea. So I was
I wouldn't be able to get in that position.
right. So I just told him, hey, can you just have him put it in his back pocket or something?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah,
'Cause it
that
was
makes
the-
more sense anyway, because they're going to have you like try to put it in your backpack awkwardly when you left Blockbuster. That kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it was
and, like, it didn't make as much sense.
It was an ad for
None of this makes sense.
Tarzan got released on VHS
DVD, yeah.
video. It was
Oh, boy.
VHS.
Well, it was DVD because
think.
they had it in your back pocket, and they had to do the DVD case in half with a little foam pad to make it look like it was
Oh,
a
I
hole
thought
there.
it was a VHS tape.
Yeah, it was a DVD.
So the whole thing is me
Yeah.
skating
from the store.
from the store And
In
I'm
the
bringing
rain.
it to Riley. Riley was in the commercial too.
Cool, Dad, but can you do it in a loincloth like Tarzan?
And
That's
so I'm
rad.
bringing it to Riley, but so I put it in my back pocket
Right.
and then do all the stuff. Flat bar.
Right. Yeah, and when I was doing the flat bar, they had like fireworks set up on the bottom of the board. And as I would skate off, they would yank something or do a time release or something.
Yeah.
And all these sparks would come out while I was grinding the flat bar.
Sick.
Yeah. It was all interesting stuff.
Man, I want that on my board right now. That's so much cooler than what I have.
Yeah, it was fun. Lots of weird stuff for that shoot.
I need
But
Fi to
I
come
have
out
all
of
kinds of photos from that day. It was a rad day.
I know. I have a photo of us together.
Yeah.
With I'll find that one.
And
Of
they were
us
like,
together wearing the
they're
outfits.
grinding metal while you're doing the loop, shooting sparks, like fiery sparks.
No, I have a good video. Actually, the home video I have of that is better
Right.
than the commercial footage.
Right. Because it got all edited funny. They like zoomed in weird
Yeah,
as you were
they
going
zoomed in
through
weird,
it.
yeah.
I remember that.
That was fun though.
Yeah.
That was
a
what
good
a
one.
crazy memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously because you were goofy footed,
Right.
and because we're both the same kind of height and build, but that's funny. Yeah, 'cause
Close
I
enough.
remember jacking my
Yeah.
shin
Right.
on the ramp.
Yeah, and because you hurt your shin,
Yeah.
they made me do it. Which was
Because when
hilarious.
it used to be when I do nines, if I didn't pull off enough, I'd bang my shins on the coping.
Right.
On the way in.
I think this one, his board got underneath his shin,
That's
like knee
usually-
sliding in, and the board was
yeah,
there.
because I was doing varial flips too,
Right.
and that's the tangle.
Yeah. That was it. I'm gonna
You
pop
knee
it.
slip with the board under your shins.
What's that?
You knee slip with the board on your shins.
Yeah, look, I did that just the other
Yeah,
day.
it came around. The board was underneath, and it's still there, or is that
No,
from
that's
other
the
stuff?
new one.
Oh,
Does it all the time.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, can you not pull those out?
There's so much.
Dim the
It's
lights,
because
dim
there's
the
so much
lights.
real estate here.
Yeah.
That's the issue. Like there's so much to hit.
I'm not hungry for like a day.
The hideousness of that
He is.
shin
He's
will haunt
that's
my
like-
dreams
yeah,
forever.
Thank you. That's disgusting. Freaking Hulk stalks.
That was fun though, man. We had like, and that was the sweet spot of audio days too.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we were like riding on their jet and
Yeah, they had it going good.
like we did. Didn't we do a demo in Puerto Rico?
I do remember they had the jet that was like for the Kings or something. Was it for the Sacramento
Yeah,
Kings?
yeah.
We were going on their private jet.
Yeah.
And flying to a demo.
Yeah, and because Bam was on the team, so they could
Right.
just snap. Bam would be like, "We need to go to.
Right.
We're going to Vegas."
And I don't think I'd ever been on a private jet before.
Yeah.
And even while we were on it, they were like, "Do you want to fly it?" And I'm like, some people got into the cockpit and got to check it out.
Wow.
I was like, "Wow, I
Sounds pretty
don't
cool.
think I really want to do that."
You didn't do
Just
it?
having the opportunity to do it was rad enough. I didn't need to sit down and do it, but other people got in and like tried the controls out and stuff. They took it off auto.
Yeah, but it's
yeah.
like, unless you're gonna like do a hard left or something, that's not really cool.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
they
man.
did. They went down and up like pretty good. I was
like-
like, well,
Let me really
right.
hug a turn, and then we're talking.
Yeah. I think
Oh, look, I'm
It's
holding
not a
the wheel.
Lambo.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude, if you can let me drive the jet, like,
Right.
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's
they would have
let's
let
put
you
ourselves
too.
in harm's
Oh,
way.
you know what I mean? Like, I'll do a big dive bomb,
Right.
then pull
my
up, like,
God,
that's driving.
Yeah.
Or flying, whatever.
Yeah. I'll leave the flying to the pilots.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, no, but it was wild.
Yeah. What
Like-
are you doing for shoes these days? Do you?
We're trying to bring back Hawk shoes.
You are.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're inching our way.
Yeah.
To
Because similarly,
making it happen.
someone got the rights to audio, and they're trying to bring that back right now too.
So
I wonder if it's linked.
when we started the Hawk shoes
Yeah.
side of audio.
Right.
I kept ownership
Yeah.
of that IP. So
For the Hawk.
even though
Yeah.
that was happening through audio, I
Right.
did own the Hawk shoes IP.
Good.
So then we took it to Kohl's when we were doing Hawk clothing at Kohl's.
Right.
And I've owned it ever since. So
Okay.
now we're trying to bring it back.
Okay.
That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, it's a good time to bring that brand back too. Just
I hope
'cause,
so. I mean, I love the designs. Like I'm wearing the sample. I'm just trying to manifest it. Like,
Right.
If
Yeah.
I don't really believe in all that stuff. Or you just keep thinking about it, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to force it into reality at this point.
Right. Yeah, we got a
we're
phone
getting
call
closer.
the other day about audio doing the same thing, and they're going to bring back some of the old models, and they got Brian Sumner back involved.
So would they bring back your model and pay you with your name on it?
yeah.
Oh,
that
that's
kind of thing.
amazing. Because
Yeah.
most companies, when they take ownership of a company like that,
Right.
like that just happened with another brand
Right.
recently, they'll just take everyone's name off the shoes and do
Right.
it as a generic shoe.
Well, I think they realized that there's a better market if they bring some of us back in.
Nostalgia.
And just like have the real models with the real people there and have us give input on how to make it good.
Yeah.
I think it'll be an easy road to success, because if we bring back just the best the audio had to offer, then it'll be the best shoe brand out there, you know, because we won't have any of the bad models or anything that missed the mark. We'll be steering it, and it's between me and Brian Sumner, we can pretty much
sick.
dictate what comes out.
Yeah.
And the future looks good. I think we can pull it off.
I hope it works.
Yeah. But that's rad that Hawk is coming back too at the same time.
We're bringing them. We're bringing them together. Let's join forces.
That's awesome.
Make it happen.
I think I'm going to bring out a signature cowboy boot.
Yeah.
You guys have inspired me.
Did you see when
we're
S
talking about
did that
reissues
thing for,
here? That's not a reissue.
For April Fool's Day, I think they did an S skateboarding cowboy boot.
Nuh-uh.
Like an XL, and I think TJ Rogers was skating that thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually did some tricks in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a joke, but it looked good.
Yeah.
Some people thought it was serious and they wanted a pair.
See, that's where I come in.
Yeah. They might have the sample still if you want to try it out.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I got cowboy boots. I had no idea how comfortable they are. They're fun. And if a horse stands on your foot, it doesn't hurt as much as a skate shoe.
You got the steel toe ones that protect your foot then?
Nah.
You know what we need?
Dude, it stood on me yesterday. Like
on the pointy part of your toe, and it still didn't hurt?
It hurt.
Oh, okay.
But just not like, I was like, oh, that's bad. And I went to like take it away, and the horse had already put his weight on. I was like, well, we're going to be riding this out in a minute.
It was too late.
Until he decides he's letting go. I'm in this. And then he got off, and I was like, it didn't break. Nothing broke, but there was like a little bit of pain.
We need a salad grind in those boots.
Yeah.
That's funny, because I feel like out of all things I do on the ramp, that's one thing where I'm like, I could do that. Like any other trick, I'm like, no.
That is sick.
Right.
But that I could definitely do. I bled all over them yesterday, dude. I had such a massacre yesterday. I didn't mean it, but like I got a Canadian fan gave me a care package, gigantic box of like maple syrups and just so much cool stuff. Knives. And I'm like, oh, I love knives. And I'm like, this thing is cool. This one's cool. Oh, man, I'm taking one with me to go ride horses today. So I got a knife on me. And then I'm going to meet a new horse that's like...
Okay, why?
Why what?
Why do you have a knife on you to go ride horses?
It's a cowboy thing to do. It's a cowboy thing to do, right?
All right.
Come on, man.
Why wouldn't you have a knife?
Wake up, Tony Hawk.
Because you might get cut, as we're going to hear about.
Well,
we'll find out.
If you want it, look, I got apples, and I'm going to introduce myself to a new horse, and I'm like, I bring gifts. You don't give him the whole apple, you give him pieces.
Yeah.
So I got 2 horses, my girlfriend's horse, and then this new horse that I'm hanging out with. So I'm cutting off a slice, giving to this horse, and then the other horse is like, oh, nah, he got apples. So he comes over. So now I got 2 horses on either side of me going, what's up with your apples? Right. And I'm like, I'm cutting them as quick as I can. And this knife is real sharp, and I didn't realize it. And I go, dink, and this one starts bleeding. I'm like, oh, man, I cut my finger. And the other horse is like, I don't care about that. Like, give me more apple. I'm like, my bad, homie. I pull out another apple, and I cut quick. And I'm like, oh.
Did the other one?
Yeah,
Worse?
bad.
Worse.
Wait, like, I almost cut the tip of my finger off.
Wow.
Like, it's a flappy, like, thing going on.
Were you cutting him left-handed at that point because you hurt this one?
Yeah, so I just smashed into that hand. I was like, oh, that's bad.
There's way less control left-handed.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm trying to, like, these guys are befriending me, and I'm like, I don't want to let you down. I want to give you as much apple as you want.
Right.
So I'm cutting up all these apples. So now I'm bleeding everywhere. My girlfriend's like, really? And I'm like, you already knew what you got involved with. Don't act surprised that I'm bleeding everywhere. Just that I've ripped my shirt off and start cutting my shirt up to make a bed, because she's like, we got to go to hospital. Let's stitches. I'm like, no,
we're not doing that.
There'll be no hospital here. Right. So I just like MacGyvered some torn up T-shirt, and I'm
stop.
Yeah, make it stop. So it's bleeding bad, and I take this horse. I'm walking it because I'm going to get to know it. First I washed him, and I got to wash him and brush him and all this stuff. And this thing's bleeding, dripping everywhere. So I changed the bandage, as in change the T-shirt. Then I take him for a walk for like a mile or 2. And I'm like, and then my girlfriend gets on her horse bareback and rides off, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I'm like, can I do that? She's like, I don't know, like he's new, and I like put my arm on him. Like,
are you able to get on bareback?
That's a fair question. That's a total fair question, because I thought
you got to jump pretty high.
Yeah, because he's a big horse.
And kick your leg over.
you got to have a big horse if you're going to be a big dude. They don't you can't get on little horses. So this guy's a big guy.
Yeah.
So I go to lean on him and he goes, and I'm like, oh, he's like, do it.
Right.
I don't know if he was like, do it, I dare you, but
right.
I was like, we're about to find out. So I didn't ask her. She, I guess, tied a knot around the rope to make it like the reins.
Right.
I didn't see her do that, and I was like, you know, what'd be cool is if I come riding up next to her and she'd be like, you did not get on this horse bareback by yourself. So I was like, that'd be sick. So like I jump on, and first I'm on my stomach on him, and he starts to walk off, and I'm just like hanging over.
You didn't get your leg over yet.
I'm just a saddle. I'm a human saddlebag.
Right.
So then he starts to go because he's like, "You're on."
You're on.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, "I'm not." So then I flick over and get on, and he starts to go like pretty fast, and I got no shirt on, dude, and he just goes off
bareback,
into
so
the
no saddle either.
Yeah, bareback,
so
no shirt on.
Like
I'm
his
like,
mane, or are you holding on to some kind of?
I got this rope, but it's just off to the side. So I go, "Hey man, slow down." He's like, "That doesn't mean anything to me, you idiot." So he just keeps running, and I'm like, I'm slipping off, and I'm like, "Oh man, we're taking a huge horse slam right now."
Yeah.
And then it wasn't bad. Like I got a foot down as I ate shit, but I like fell on my back in these weeds with no shirt on, and the dog's looking at me like, "You all right?" Like, and I'm like, "I'm all right, I think." And then I get back up and ride over to her. But in the meantime, this is the thing unraveled. So it's just squirting. I got blood all over me. I got no shirt on. I got weeds all on my scratch. My back's all scratched, and I'm just barebacking a horse in the wilderness.
You're like a living meme.
I have never felt more alive in my entire life.
Well,
like
Jonas had a good horse story from down in Mexico. They used to go down to Mexico whenever they wanted to get lobster or something, and just go hang out and party and get lobster.
Okay.
So he's down there. He finds out that you can do horseback rides on the beach.
Does he ride horses like you do? Like every now and then you would?
Just like, I mean, he's ridden a horse probably, but not
he's
like
not
this. So they go
right.
with a couple friends to go ride horses, and he tells the guys, "Hey, give me the craziest one." And they're like, "All right." So they give him this white horse.
Coolest thing to say.
He gets on it, and he has a Corona in his hand. He's like, "This is gonna be a good ride." They smack the back of the horse, and the thing takes off. And he's like, immediately, he's like, "This is not good." He tosses the Corona. He's holding on with everything he's got. He's got a saddle, I think.
Yeah.
But he's riding full speed down the beach.
So
he's
sketchy.
like, "I am now holding on for my life."
Yeah.
And the thing darted all the way down in front of everybody's stuff. Nobody in sight, just him and this horse going as fast as you can down the beach. It knew where it was going, so when it got there, it slowed down and stopped. And then he said like half an hour later, everyone else shows up. But he was on that wild ride and just had to hold on.
Right, because if you don't know how to make it stop, and he knows you don't, because the horse knows.
Oh yeah, the horse.
If you don't know how to ride it, they're like, I'm going where I want to go.
Right.
This
is my time.
Yeah,
It's some me time.
yeah, they don't care. You ride horse. So you and your brother.
I've been on horses and I've ridden them, but not.
You're not a horse rider.
I am definitely not a cowboy, not a horseback rider, but I've been on a couple horseback rides.
Wait, did you ever BMX?
Well, yeah, when I was little, before
you grew up with
skateboarding.
rooftop, right?
Before skateboarding, when I lived in Glendale, I had a BMX bike, and BMX was all the best thing because the movie Rad came out.
Yeah,
they're doing backflips out of the cereal bowl, you know. So by us, there was a
Nicole
place called
Kidman
I don't know, is she
Who?
Nicole Kidman?
Oh, maybe.
When they do that dance scene on the dance floor on the bikes, they're doing freestyle.
Dang, that's painful.
I don't know. I'm not
about that part.
That's a funny scene.
Can you check if Nicole Kidman was in Rad? I'm pretty sure she was.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, the
Rad.
movie
Yeah, man,
Rad,
Rad,
the
wake
BMX
up.
movie.
Yeah, she was in BMX Bandits.
Oh, that's what it was. BMX
okay.
Bandits.
So the Rad movie
Yeah,
though
Rad
came
was-
out.
So sick.
Rad was that was the standard.
Yeah. So we would ride our bikes down from our house in Glendale up into the mountains. There was a trail, and they had dug out these dirt jumps. So there was like a big dirt jump to jump, and everyone throw like bottles and cactus and anything spiky in the hole. So you had to make sure you cleared it.
Yeah, you
So we
probably
would ride
did.
up there and do that, and you know, we weren't good at riding bikes, but we were as crazy as anybody. We'd ride fast, hold on, do a little tabletop, and we can get it. But you end up falling a couple times, and every time I went up there, I got poison oak because there was poison oak in all those bushes. And I was so allergic to poison oak. Every time I went there, I even went up there, didn't touch one bush the whole time,
Got it
made it
anyway.
home, I still got it. I'm like, I guess I just can't do this anymore. So I got the
So
skateboard.
Poison
started
Oak
riding
ended
skateboard.
your BMX career.
Yeah, because
Wow.
I could. Every time I went there, I got it bad. And like one time, I had it and I didn't know I had it, and I was rubbing my eye at night, and I woke up in the morning, my whole eye was swollen shut. I go to wake up my mom, like, there's something wrong. She turns on, like, I looked hideous. I looked like Quasimodo.
Oh, so rough.
You know, it was all that badly swollen. I couldn't go to school for like 3 days.
Hell
Had
yeah.
to put the calamine lotion on.
Man, if I had done that, I would have rubbed that in my eyes every day.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's enough. That's enough BMX riding up in the hills, you know.
But you guys used to hang out with the rooftop, right?
That was not till La Habra days. So when we moved to La Habra, I was like a freshman in high school, going to La Habra High. I was the only skateboarder that I knew of around. It was just me and Jonas. But he was in a different school. He was in Rancho Starbuck, the middle school, and I was starting new at La Habra. But I did find 2 older skaters. They were like a grade, or one was a grade older and one was 2 grades older. And they would skate in the mornings. It was Duke and Tosh, 2 Asian dudes that just, they're the only skateboarders in the whole town. So I would try to skate with them in the morning before school, but I hated skating in the morning. In the morning, it's cold, you're stale, you can't really warm up, and then by the time you get to go to class, you're all sweaty. So I'm like, I kind of skipped the morning sessions. I just try to find them later. But yeah, those are the only 2 guys. And then it was the 4 of us. And then Jonas actually gave a full setup to Paul Luna to get him skating with us because he used to skate. So then we had at least 5 of us, and it kind of grew from there. But that was the core.
How much younger is your brother?
1 year younger. He was 1 year.
Only 1 year.
Yeah.
So why'd you go to 2 different schools?
It was that time.
'Cause
I was in ninth grade and he was in 8th grade.
moved up.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's the split for the middle school to high school.
How many
But
years?
yeah, we met Escamilla in high school though, because he
Okay.
was like already riding BMX, and actually I was friends with his older brother Gabe. That's how
Okay.
I met Mike too, because his older brother Gabe skated and skated really well.
Yep.
Like we'd go skate at the Huntington High School. We'd take the bus down to Huntington, skate there in the morning, and Gabe was actually so good. He was doing heel flips over the rail at like the 7 stair that was in the hallway. It had a
Dang.
like, kink
Wow.
and stuff. He was heel flipping over that. Like that was his trick. But I mean, at that age and that time in skateboarding, that was advanced. And
Oh, yeah.
I think his parents didn't really like him skateboarding. They thought it would lead to bad things for him. So they kind of pushed him away from skateboarding. But then, you know, his younger brother, Mike, is on a bike and kind of knew us. So he would come out and ride with us. And he would bike on the same things we were skating on. And it was funny that Mike was crazy enough to try the stuff that I was trying on a skateboard on his bike. So we kind of pushed each other, even though we were on different vehicles
Yeah.
altogether. But we could definitely enjoy a session. And we were the only 2 people doing anything on it, even if we had a bunch of people with us.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it was
cool.
kind
I
of cool
remember
having that.
when he and I would travel together, he would talk about you.
Yeah.
You guys used to ride together.
That was kind of the beginning of street BMX, I
Yeah.
think, you know?
It's funny you talk about his brother doing heel flips because when I
Yeah.
think of, because Rooftop has skated.
Right.
And that's the one trick he could do.
He can do heel
Is the heel
flips,
flip, yeah.
He could also do what he called an air guitar. He would do a rock and roll without actually setting the wheels down or putting the rail on. He would get the wheels over, and before it hit the coping, he'd turn it back, and he called it an air guitar.
That is way harder.
Yeah,
that's sketchy.
But when you're
Yeah.
not
That's just-
comfortable
that's
getting
playing
up,
with your
he
life.
would do just enough and then come back. Yeah, and he was doing that on Luna's ramp in the backyard. The
So
air guitar.
sick.
That sounds like something the BMX dude would do.
Yeah, but he was pushing BMX in a different direction from what I could tell. Because he
Yeah.
was just rolling with us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because now that I know that, and then he like did the Tony Hawk tours
Right.
where he was like one of the only BMX guys.
Right.
And
it was always
and
funny to see him on
was
the
always-
tour, and I'm not on the tour. Like, I'm a skateboarder. I ride for the same companies as you. I know you, but I never went on the tour. But then I got Mike Escamilla, who's my friend from high school that rides a BMX bike. He's on the tour. It's like, that's crazy.
He told me not to invite you.
Yeah, exactly. He just did this show recently, huh?
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always
A couple weeks ago, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll already have aired when you're, whatever. The timeline's weird. So
Yeah, he's a fun character, too.
How is skating for you these days?
Good. It's pretty much wide open to whatever I want to do, and there's a lot of local parks popping up in our neighborhood. So there's nothing right in Placentia or Yorba Linda, but all around Anaheim, Covina, there's new ones popping up. So we got a pretty good little crew of people that want to still go skate. It's usually just me and Pat Chanita going out
Yeah.
and filming
Yeah.
each other, and like we have our GoPro and just getting clips, and then whoever else is with us. So the session just kind of evolves from there.
That's so
But,
cool.
yeah, we still get out and do it, and it's kind of fun just getting what you can and like learning something new. Even these days, it's rad just getting out there and doing it. And there's definitely no pressure to perform or do anything.
Right.
So and it's usually in the mornings while the kids are at school. So we got that little chunk of time between like 9 and 2.
Yeah, that's
to go skate the parks.
That's the adult swim hours on our ramp.
Right. No, it's just fun.
Dudes,
swim.
Yeah.
so dudes our age are skating.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's a blast, and it's just You know, it's still early in the morning, so you're not really warmed up.
Yeah.
But it's a great way if you keep doing that, then you get used to skating at that time. You can actually do some stuff. But I still prefer skating later in the afternoon, after lunch or something, where you're kind of warmed up and you're ready to do something.
Yeah,
But-
no, I've just mine's relegated to just morning sessions.
Right.
That's my scene.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
how
I
it
feel
goes.
like you start to get tired later on in the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
like
I'm
a-
just tired all the time, but
Me too.
yeah, later.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to agree with you, but
That's so cool. You're still out there, so active. We love it.
No, it's great. And like by still doing it, you stay healthy and you stay ready to do it. You know, so I feel like at any point I could still, if I saw something I really wanted to do that was outside the daily range, I could still do it.
Yeah,
So-
it's that constant motion.
Right. I don't have injuries in the way. I'm healthy. I know what the board's doing. So have a good connection with it. I can still do whatever I want at this point.
It's so great.
So, and I got my 50th birthday coming up in April next year. So I don't know if there's going to be a 50 tricks for the 50 years kind of thing, because I've done them in the past. But since it's the big 5-0, I might just go and get a big 5-0. You know, get a photo of a 5-0 for my big 5-0
that's
birthday.
a good one. Yeah.
I think I'll just go that route. You know, get a really
we
nice
should have
5-0.
just done that, Jason. Just a
Instead of filming
5-0
all the
on the
tricks.
vert ramp. That's all we needed for 50.
Yeah, just get a nice
I
still.
tried to shoot
It's the big
50
5-0.
tricks. You're
That's
trying
the
to do
rest of my
540s.
birthdays.
What's
Yeah.
that?
That's the rest of my birthdays.
Yeah.
We're doing 5-0s. I don't care how old I am. It's a 5-0.
Until they invent the 6-0.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
That's sick.
That was good.
Well, Jeremy, we appreciate you coming through. We're big fans. I've always been a big fan of your skating.
Yeah, me
I
too,
always
man.
you.
loved traveling together. Like I said, you were always one of the fun guys to hang out with, you know, when in the downtime, in the van, and you're always good to Riley. So I appreciate it.
Right on. Yeah, thank you very much. That was
Yeah, man.
great doing
Keep
all those
ripping.
tours.
I
Yeah.
know.
We had a fun time going all around the world and just
We had a good run.
Yeah. And doing all those autograph signings where like
We did. We had a good run.
Still
Like,
running,
you guys
man.
were
Come on.
sick.
He can do
Yeah.
50 tricks of his 50th birthday. You're
yeah,
still
the
as
clock's
crazy as
ticking.
ever.
I think my window of doing 50 tricks for that birthday, it's getting narrower and narrower. So if I don't start soon, it might not make 50 for 50, especially to the caliber I'd want to do it. you
Okay,
know?
well, we don't want to hold you up anymore. So
Yeah.
go get on it.
Yeah, we can get a couple here, huh?
On the vert
You
ramp,
gonna show me how to do some stuff?
I don't think you should take any advice from me over here.
Yeah.
Barely get off this fucking couch. Wait till the show ends and watch me get up. Every time I get up here, I go, ah, and then I go put my pads on and go over there. And the whole time as I'm walking over, I'm like, why? I don't know how. This is getting worse and worse.
Because we have
Right.
to.
And my new thing, just like you said right now, the more you stay on it, because
Right.
I haven't even taken a day off. I skated some concrete bowl yesterday. I just keep going, and I keep
Right.
waking up, and I'm like, oh. But if I go on there, it doesn't hurt. It's not as scary.
Yeah, if you can skate through it, it actually makes it better. If
Yeah.
you're not doing anything to hurt it further, it's better for you.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
It's a
doing.
fine line.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's super fun.
I'm just trying to be the voice of reason.
Especially with the vert ramp. The vert ramp can get you at any time. I know, like, just,
What are you talking about?
can.
Like your
I've
stuff
seen
can
it.
get you just as bad.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do
There's
know.
some surprises on the vert ramp where you
I feel
don't
like-
know you're going to fall, and it's just like,
I feel
bam.
like you on the vert ramp, yeah. But also, if I come hang out with you
Right.
wherever you are, dude,
Yeah.
I'm not walking tomorrow, guaranteed.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
if I don't fall dramatically, I'll be like, oh, what happened?
Yep.
I had to
ollie
push.
down 3
I
stairs.
had to push into something.
Sorry, Amy. Why? Pushing.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, it's like what you do, you know?
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
we're glad you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good to
ripping.
be here. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Like it, describe.